Good day and welcome. You're watching Maarten NEWSDESK, where we bring you the latest and most important stories around the island and beyond. With your anchor crew, Alston Lawrence, Glenda York, Tiziana Hart, and Mizzy with the Sunshine Report. This broadcast is brought to you by TV15 and proudly produced by Great Bay Media Studios in Philipsburg, St. Maarten. And now, let's jump straight into today's top headlines.
Gasoline prices increased today. Motorists in St. Maarten will pay more for gasoline starting today, Wednesday, May 13th. The government has announced that the pump price for unleaded gasoline was adjusted at 6 a.m. The current price of $3.09 per liter will increase to $3.20 per liter. That means gasoline will go up by just over 10 cents per liter. The price of diesel will remain unchanged at $2.97 per liter. Government regulates the maximum price at which petroleum products can be sold by wholesalers and retailers in Maarten. Officials say the latest adjustment follows changes in crude oil prices on the international market, with local pump prices adjusted to reflect that trend. Motorists are advised to take note of the new gasoline price, which took effect this morning. VROMI Minister defends waste and road management. VROMI Minister, the Honorable Patrice Gumbs Jr., has defended his ministry's handling of several major public concerns, including the solid waste tender, district cleaning contracts, road repairs, permit backlogs, and landfill operations. Speaking in Parliament, the minister said haulers were giving clarification after confusion between district cleaning contracts and solid waste contracts. He also apologized again for communication issues connected to the failed waste tender and thanked bidders for their effort. Gumbs said some bidders were disqualified for issues including unsigned documents, missing SZV registration, outdated rate forms, missing business licenses, or licenses that did not include waste collection. He said future tenders may use a simplified declaration form to reduce paperwork challenges. On road repairs, the minister said several roads have received work between 2020 and 2026, and that road maintenance funding has been affected by delayed budget approvals. He also acknowledged long-standing building permit backlogs, saying VROMI has issued permits dating as far back as 2015 and is working on digitalizing the process. On waste management, Gumbs said the emergency debris management project is scheduled to end in December 2026, but an in-principle agreement could extend the trust fund for that project to 2033. He said the planned waste authority may first be set up inside government in 2026 before later becoming an independent structure. Mr. Brug faces no confidence motion. Public Health, Social Development and Labor Minister, the Honorable Richinel Brug, appeared before Parliament on Tuesday and again today, Wednesday, where a motion of no confidence was expected to be presented against him. Ahead of the meetings, Minister Brug issued a statement saying the public deserves clarity on how the situation developed. According to Brug, the matter is not about misconduct or his chef de cabinet, but about his refusal to participate in actions he believed were not in line with the law and principles of good governance. The minister said he had raised concerns internally for about a year and that tensions increased after he informed the Prime Minister and members of his party that he intended to report certain matters to the Integrity Chamber and the Ombudsman. Brug says he acted transparently and in good faith and that he will not allow himself to be used as a scapegoat for decisions he believes are improper or illegal. He acknowledged Parliament's authority to debate and vote on the motion, but said his conscience is clear. Brug says his loyalty remains with the people of St. Maarten, the law, and the institutions of the country.
Hello, my people. My name is Glenda York of Sit, Sip and Chat and Moms in Paradise podcast. You can find us on TV15 St. Maarten, TVC St. Kitts, and on YouTube. Reporting from Great Bay Media Studios in St. Maarten, your NEWSDESK feature story is coming up. But first, here is Mizzy with the Sunshine Report.
Hey there, it's Busy with the Sunshine Report, straight out of Sunshine City, St. Maarten, bringing you the warmth and the sunshine you need to kickstart your day. So let's dive into today's forecast and see how the skies are treating us.
You could talk to your family, talk to your friends. Affordability and convenience. Community connection, that makes sense. Reliability with experience. Hey, for every love, every adventure. Number one provider, they got ya. We tell them your data is always on. You can opt out whenever you want. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want the road. Control my data, yeah, yeah, yeah. Always connected every time, everywhere. Money low, but I never fair. I know, tell them is there. Connectivity, that's what I like. Flexibility, that's what I like. Reliability, that's what I like. Tell them, sign me up for life. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Come tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to go. Come tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to road.
Stay connected to the best of local and Caribbean content anywhere, anytime with the TVC Plus app, the official app of TVC Channel 40. With the TVC Plus app, you can watch TVC Channel 40 live, catch every episode of your favorite shows on demand, watch exclusive pay-per-view content, listen to Voice of the Caribbean radio, and watch and read SKN Newsline. The TVC Plus app is available on all your devices. On the Google Play Store, search TVC and the plus sign. In the Apple App Store, type the words TVC Plus. And we're also available on the Amazon App Store for Fire TV and Fire Stick devices. Search the words TVC Plus. Download today and take TVC Channel 40 wherever you go.
All right, don't miss NEWSDESK. Weekdays at 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. on TVC. St. Kitts to the world, now streaming everywhere. Restaurants join St. Maarten Flavors. The first group of restaurants has officially enrolled in St. Maarten Flavors 2026/2027. According to organizers, 15 restaurants confirmed participation within the first week of enrollment. They include Asiana, Balls and Wine, Catch 21, Creole Culinary Classroom, Itel Shack, K Beach Club, Lazy Lizard, Pure Ocean Rendezvous Lounge, Roma, Rumhuis, Seaview, Spices of India, Tortuga, Toppers, and Veranda. St. Maarten Flavors is organized by the St. Maarten Hospitality and Trade Association in partnership with the St. Maarten Tourism Bureau. The program is now a year-round platform with its main focus in June celebrating St. Maarten's reputation as the culinary capital of the Caribbean. For its 5th edition, the campaign is using the tagline, Beyond the Plate, placing more attention on the stories behind the dishes, chefs, and food experiences. Unlike previous years, pricing is no longer preset. Restaurants now have more freedom to create or highlight a signature dish, special menu, or June experience. Restaurants interested in joining can contact events at shta.com. HR Evolve Conference officially sold out. The HR Evolve Conference 2026 is officially sold out ahead of next week's event. The conference takes place on Wednesday, May 20th at DV Little Bay Beach Resort, bringing together HR professionals, business leaders, people managers, and decision makers from both the public and private sectors. Organizers say the strong response reflects growing awareness of the role human resource plays in building resilient organizations, healthy workplaces, and stronger workplace culture. This year's theme is Claim Your Seat, HR at the Table, with a focus on positioning HR as a strategic partner in leadership, organizational performance, people management, workplace well-being, and culture. Participants can expect keynote sessions, interactive breakout workshops, practical leadership tools, and discussions on psychological safety and workplace well-being. Organizer Crystal Wanga, founder of Strategic Elements, said the turnout shows that organizations are recognizing the importance of investing in people, leadership, and the future of work in St. Maarten. The event is expected to offer an afternoon of learning, networking, collaboration, and inspiration for professionals across the island and wider region. Advocaat returns as Curaçao coach. Dick Advocaat is returning as head coach of Curaçao's national football team ahead of the 2026 World Cup. The move comes after Fred Rutten resigned as coach, according to the Fédération Football Curaçao, or FFK. Rutten had managed Curaçao during 2 March friendly matches, which ended in losses to China and Australia. FFK says Rutten's decision followed open discussions with Chairman Gilbert Martina with the interests of Curaçao football, team stability, and the squad's future placed at the center. Rutten said he did not want a climate to develop that could affect professional relationships within the team and staff. FFK thanked him for his professionalism and for putting the team's interests first. Advocaat, known as the Little General, previously led Curaçao to its historic first World Cup qualification before stepping down in February to care for his daughter, who was seriously ill. With her health reportedly improving, he is now open to returning. If Advocaat leads Curaçao at the tournament, the 78-year-old would become the oldest manager in World Cup history. FFK says its focus is now on unity, calm, and continuing Curaçao football's ambitions ahead of the World Cup.
When we come back, we go to our in-depth feature of the day, exploring one of the island's most thought-provoking topics. That's just ahead. Stay tuned.
You know, we all talk about having rights, And yeah, we do.
We have the right to be safe,
the right to learn and get an education,
the right to speak up and be heard,
the right to dream big and build our future.
But listen, rights don't stand alone.
We also have responsibilities.
Real talk, if we want respect, we gotta give respect too.
St. Martin is our home.
So let's protect it. Keep our beaches clean, our streets clean, and show love to nature.
Healthy island, healthy future.
Our parents and guardians do a lot for us.
Let's show respect, talk to them, and listen, even when it's hard.
School prepares us for life.
So we show up, we stay focused, and we put in effort.
We want opportunities, so we work for them.
We are part of this community, every village, every culture, every neighborhood.
Let's be kind, positive, and supportive.
A stronger community starts with us.
And most importantly, we are responsible for ourselves.
We make healthy choices for our mind and body.
We believe in our goals and our voice and our future.
Our rights gives us power, our responsibilities makes us leaders. Together we rise.
The Convention of the Rights of the Child isn't just a policy, it's protection and responsibility. When our children learn their rights, they are better prepared to take on their responsibility. This public service announcement is brought to you by the Department of Youth.
Let's put everything on the table. People always give their opinion, and you can either take it or crunch it. Let them judge. We give in to the most irresistible flavor. We devour every nugget that falls in our hands, especially when it's our crunchy fried chicken. And let the crumbs fly if needed. Let them keep judging. We'll keep indulging. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
You could talk to your family, talk to your friends. Affordability and convenience. Community connection, that makes sense. Reliability with experience. Hey, for every life, every adventure. #1 provider, they got ya. We tell them your data is always on. You can opt out whenever you want. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want the road. Control my data, yeah, yeah, yeah. Always connected every time, everywhere. Money low, but I never fair. I know, tell them it's there. Connectivity, that's what I like. Flexibility, that's what I like. Reliability, that's what I like. Tell them, sign me up for life. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Come tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to go. Come tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want the road.
Before we wrap up, we take a moment each day to check in with our neighbors across the region. There's always a story worth paying attention to. Here's today's regional headline.
Cayman considers newborn investment fund. The Cayman Islands government is considering a new long-term investment program aimed at improving financial security for Caymanian children born after January 1st, 2027. The proposal, described as a newborn investment sovereign fund or Caymanian baby bond, would see government invest money at birth for eligible Caymanian children. The funds would be designed to grow over time and support retirement security later in life. Finance and Economic Development Minister Ralston Anglin says government supports the goal of strengthening long-term financial resilience, but the program must be structured carefully. He said the fund should be retirement-focused with no early withdrawals for education, housing, or short-term use. According to analysis by the Economics and Statistics Office, early withdrawals could reduce the long-term value of the investment by as much as 70 to 90%. But if left untouched for 60 to 65 years, a modest contribution at birth could grow into a significant retirement asset through compound returns. The Cayman government says the program could become a third pillar of retirement security alongside mandatory pensions and private savings. Officials will now work on policy details including contribution levels, eligibility, governance, independent fund management, and legal protections to keep the fund stable across future administrations.
Welcome back. Each day we take a moment to go beyond the headlines and look deeper into the issues, people, and conversations shaping life here on St. Martin. Welcome to today's NEWSDESK feature.
Energy is no longer just a technical issue for St. Martin. It is a household issue, it is a business issue, it is a tourism issue, and increasingly it is a national resilience issue. That is the central argument behind a new white paper titled Establishing a National Energy Authority for St. Martin, a coordinated institutional framework for energy affordability, resilience, and sustainable development. The document, published in May 2026, is one of 3 white papers now shared with the public to encourage serious national discussion about St. Martin's long-term development. It is available online as a PDF and is presented not as official government policy, but as an independent proposal meant to stimulate debate, consultation, and deeper planning. And the timing could not be more relevant. St. Martin remains heavily dependent on imported fossil fuels to generate electricity. That means local energy costs are directly exposed to global oil prices, shipping disruptions, geopolitical instability, and fuel market shocks. When fuel prices rise internationally, families and businesses feel it locally. Electricity bills increase, operating costs go up, hotels, restaurants, supermarkets, small businesses, and households all absorb the pressure. So the question is no longer whether St. Martin needs to modernize its energy sector. The question is who will coordinate that transition. The white paper argues that St. Martin does not simply need more studies, more ideas, or more promises. It needs an institutional framework capable of turning energy plans into action. That is where the proposed National Energy Authority, or NEA, comes in. The proposal recommends establishing the NEA as a statutory independent public body known as a ZBO. Its role would not be to replace existing institutions. It would not replace government ministries. It would not replace BTP, it would not replace NVGEBE, and it would not take over utility operations. Instead, the proposed authority would serve as a coordinating body. Government would remain responsible for policy and legislation. BTP would continue evolving as the independent energy and utility regulator. NVGEBE would remain the electricity utility, grid operator, and distribution operator. The NEA would focus on coordination, implementation support, energy affordability initiatives, resilience planning, renewable energy projects, climate financing, coordination, and long-term strategic execution. That distinction matters because St. Martin's energy challenge is not only technical, it is institutional. The country has already seen studies and assessments pointing toward renewable energy integration, distributed solar, battery storage, smart metering, and grid modernization. But identifying solutions is not the same as implementing them. That is where many small island states struggle. The Caribbean has long faced a common energy dilemma: small isolated grids, heavy fuel import dependency, aging infrastructure, high electricity cost, and limited financing capacity. For islands exposed to hurricanes and climate shocks, the problem becomes even more urgent. A modern energy system must be affordable, but it must also be resilient. If a hurricane hits, if fuel shipments are disrupted, or if global prices spike, the country needs systems that can withstand pressure. The white paper also proposes the creation of a St. Martin Energy Affordability and Resilience Fund, structured as a special financing vehicle. The fund could support rooftop solar, battery storage, energy efficiency retrofits, electrical vehicle charging systems, hurricane-resilient infrastructure, and other sustainability projects. That financing piece is important because an energy transition will not happen through speeches alone. It requires money. it requires technical capacity, it requires bankable projects, and it requires institutions credible enough to attract climate financing, development support, and private sector participation. The proposal outlines possible financing sources, including government allocations, Dutch Kingdom support, climate grants, development institutions, public-private partnerships, and revolving financing mechanisms. In other words, the goal is not simply to create another office. The goal is to create a structure that can unlock funding, coordinate implementation, and keep energy planning from being trapped in short-term political cycles. Of course, the proposal also raises fair questions. Does St. Maarten need another institution? How would it be funded? How would it avoid overlap with BTP and GEBE? How would transparency be guaranteed? And how would the public know that this authority is delivering results? The white paper attempts to answer those concerns by recommending clear legal separation between policy, regulation, utility operations, and financing. It also calls for transparent procurement, independent audits, public reporting, conflict of interest safeguards, and accountability to Parliament. Those safeguards are not small details, they are essential. Because if St. Maarten is serious about energy reform, public trust must be built into the system from the start. The deeper issue is this: the cost of inaction may already be higher than the cost of coordination. Every year that St. Maarten remains fully exposed to imported fuel, the country remains vulnerable to price shocks. Every delay in grid modernization slows renewable adoption. Every missed financing opportunity keeps households and businesses paying more than they should. So this white paper should not be read as a final answer. It should be read as an invitation to government, Parliament, NEWSDESK, BTP, the private sector, civil society, technical experts, and the public to have a serious conversation about what energy security should look like in St. Maarten. Because energy is not just about keeping the lights on, it's about affordability, it's about climate resilience, it is about economic competitiveness, it is about national planning. St. Maarten cannot control global oil prices. It cannot control international conflict. It cannot control every storm, but it can control how prepared it is. And if this white paper does anything, it reminds the country that energy reform cannot remain a conversation for crisis moments only. It has to become part of the national development agenda. Because the real question is not whether St. Maarten can afford to build a stronger energy system. The real question may be whether it can afford not to.
That's all the time we have for today's edition of St. Maarten News Desk. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, new episodes premiere every weekday at 8 a.m. on TV15 and across all our social media platforms. From all of us here at News Desk, we wish you a fantastic week ahead. Until next time, stay friendly, St. Maarten.